Okay guys, so now it's time to create our first arrangement. So this is going to be very simple basic arrangement that we create with our sounds that we have. We only have 2 different sounds, so there's not going to be a lot to arrange here, but you will see that as soon as we start out with the arrangement, we will get to add the different necessary sounds that we want to use in the track. So first of all, let's just make some small kind of organization here. So I'm going to delete the first pattern here. I'm going to this is because this is the reference track pattern that we had, so let's delete that. I'm also going to delete or disable the metronome here. So now I have our first pattern. This is the chord progression that we did, and this is the bass sound. So let's just rename the patterns here. So I'm going to just go with rename and color. So this is going to be our, let's see, our chords like that. Let's color it, let's say green. And the next one is going to be our bass. Let's name this main bass. Yeah, I also want to color it. So let's do that. Let's go with something like that. So now we have 2 sounds, right? So it's the chord and the main bass sound. Okay, so now we want to create the arrangement. So I just want to make the playlist in full screen like this, because now we're going to focus on the arrangement. So first of all, to make a very nice arrangement is to basically copy off the arrangement from our reference track. And you can do this by just listening to the track. This is the easiest way to do. Just listening to the track and create different markers so you know where different parts of the track should be. Okay, so now we're going to create the time markers here. So it's very easy to do. You just need to listen to the reference track and basically copy off the arrangement from the reference track to your track. And we will do that together. So, and the easiest thing here is to just start with the intro and just listen to the track and yeah, just create the time markers from there. So we're going to create the first time marker, which is the obvious one, which is the intro, and it starts in the beginning here. And from there we're going to listen to the track.
I'll tell you what.
So we're going to listen for the next part of this track.
Stay away. Do you wanna stay?
Okay, so it starts at 26, so we have the first drop. So now we should see the song position here, which should be minute seconds. So you can just click it to change it to the minute seconds there. So from here we want to, yeah, let's just create a random pattern like this so we can see the time here. So we had it at 26:27. So it's going to be here. So as you can see, it should be at the middle of each 4 squares. So if you have 4 squares here, it should be there, 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 or there, or oh, whoops, there or there. So you shouldn't do it like this or this. It should be at least at 4 steps each time when you create a new part of the track. So here we had it at 26:27, so it should be around there. And then we have our time marker, and this is going to be our drop 1. Then we have the next parts. Okay, so 112, 113. Let's resize this a bit. Okay, so it's going to be there. And then we have our time marker, and this is going to be our bridge section. You can hear this in the track. It's like it's still going on. there. It's like a drop, but it's a light drop, and then it's going to be a break section.
Can't stop and think and say, stay away, oh stay away. Tell me do you wanna stay? Do you wanna stay?
Then we have our break. So the break comes in at around 128, 129.
Do you wanna stay?
Yeah. So let's go here. Should be there. So let's create a time marker, and this is going to be the bridge. No, whoops, not bridge. This is going to be our break section. So there we have that. Let's resize this a bit. Okay, so now we have our break section, and let's look for the second drop section.
Do you wanna stay? Do you wanna stay?
Okay, so 208, somewhere around there. Yeah, you can see it says 2.6, almost 2.7, but in the track it's rather there at around 2.8, 2.9. And you can see that my theory about 4 different steps doesn't add up here. It's going to start there. And this is done because sometimes in the tracks you want some kind of difference in the second drop section or before the second drop section, just to make a kind of difference in the track. And if you listen to the reference track, you can hear that it should start there, but it starts there instead. And this is because you have the if you have the vocal part starting here, and then you have the drop section. So it's supposed to start here, but it's going to start there. You can listen to it in the track. So it's just observe, it should start at 2.672, but it's going to start at 2.864 instead.
Do you wanna stay?
Yeah, so that is what's going on in this track. But we're not going to use any vocals in our track. So I'm going to basically stay with how it should be. So I'm going to create a time marker here, and this is going to be our second drop. Then we have, the next section, which is going to be our outro section. So 254, 255, just there. Yeah, you can see it's there, but it should be there. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Outro, and then we have the end. So we want to create a time marker for the end section as well. So the end section is basically where the track ends. Yeah, it's around 310. Same thing there. So we back off 1 square, and it should be 3.8. So let's create time marker there as well. The end. So now we have a full arrangement here, and as you can see, it's very easy now to just create the arrangement because we know where we should put different sounds in. So now we can work with the whole track basically. You can see it starts at 0, and we have the end part here at 3.8. So this is what we're going to work with now. So from now on, we're going to start to add on different drum sections and different sounds, but we want to create the arrangement first. So in the next video, I'm going to just create the intro section. Then the video after that would be the drop section, or the first drop section. Then we're going to work with the bridge break and the drop 2, because we're going to copy a lot of the sounds from the first drop, so we don't have to redo the second drop. You basically copy over from the first drop to the second drop with some variations. and then we're going to create the outro and the end section. And after that, we're going to have a mixing part to mix the whole song. I'm going to go to my car just to check if the track sounds good, if we have some leveling issues, if it's too much bass or if it's low on bass, for instance. And I always do this in my car because I listen to music all of the time in my car. But let's say that you're listening to, like, most of your music listening is through your, let's say, AirPods or Beats, I don't know, Beats system or some kind of sound system that you're listening to music like a lot, you know. There is where you should like listen to your track before mixing and then after mixing and compare it. And then you should like switch over to your regular songs that you listen to. And if it sounds the same sound-wise, then you know that you're going to, you know what you're doing right. If it's like, if you switch over to your track and it's way too much bass, then you know that it's too much bass. So it's very easy to do so, but we're going to cover that in the mixing section. Then of course we're going to end with the mastering section as well. So we have the full track completed. Okay guys, so see you in the next video.